Here is the review of Transform Mission's Powertrain, which is their take on an IDW Motormaster, and also the next component of Transform Mission Havoc, their IDW Menasor. So as you can see, Powertrain or Motormaster is, of course, a truck with the cab, like he's always been in the G1 cartoon. And it does look really nice all around. It has the purple stripe here, which is going at a different angle. Because if you remember on the G1 figure, the purple stripe was just straight. But here, it's at like an S shape. And one problem that I have with this is I wish that this part was painted here. That's really my only problem with it. And he does have some orange paint on these like lights here on both sides here. And also, the back tail lights are also painted on. You can see here. And the cab here. It has some nice like silver lining around the windows here, along with some silver on the sides here. And also a little bit more silver on the lights on the top here. And of course some nice silver paint on the grill here. And also the tires here are all rubber. And he does roll really well. And that's about it. And for features, like you already saw, the cab can rotate left and right. And that's about it. And I was gonna show y'all the comparisons with his other Stunticon teams, but they're in robot mode. So I'm only gonna show you the comparisons of him and the other three in robot mode. And speaking of robot mode, let's get into that. So to transform him, for the trailer, what you're going to do is the trailer has 4 locking points. And that is 2 of these on both sides. And you just flip them out, and these tap into these holes and these pegs on both sides. And on the top here, they also have 2 locking points on both sides here. I was just checking on something. But once these 4 locking tabs are folded up, you would now separate it, and you're gonna put this off to the side. Well, I'm gonna leave this off to the side for now, which is what I meant to say. And fold down these, well, fold back in these locking tabs. Now, this part here is going to form the robot mode of Motormaster. But this other half that we removed is going to form the base mode for Motormaster. So to get this part of him in robot mode, first what you want to do is take these smokestacks, push them down, then untap them and bring them around until they tab in. Now you're gonna separate the cab and bring them out. And also, on one of these cabs here, well, halves of these, you're going to take these two pegs and flip them in. So you're going to take this peg, fold it down, and fold in this tab in. So it looks like that. Now you're gonna okay. So you want to take this gray thing here, untap it and fold it down, and then take this piece, untap it and fold it back. Now you're going to take this piece here and, well, you do want to bring it up, but you also want to there we go. You also want to take it and push it in so that it goes in like this. push it in all the way in. Because what you want to do is take these things here and untap them and bring them out. And you also want to take these things, fold them out. And now you can extend halves of the cab out. And I think you can now push in. There we go. And now you can push this all the way in, so it looks like this. Now for the grill here, you want to untap it and untap these here. And you do want to bring these down so that you can take halves of these grill pieces and fold them in so they look like this. And now you can straighten his knees so they look like this. Now for these, you want to fold them up and they will tap in. And these will help lock in his knees very securely. And on the back, you're gonna flip back in these purple things. And on the inside of these things, you want to fold out these gray things here, and these two tabs are going to go into these two holes. Now for these wheels here, you want to untap them and bring them down. And you also want to rotate them around. And on the back here, this little hole here where these two things are at are going to go into this tab here. And now you want to rotate his leg down. And for this piece, you're going to fold it up, and this tab is going to go into this hole here. And then fold down this piece and tap it in. And then you do the same thing on the other side here. So just fold down this piece here, which will allow you to bring this back. Fold down that. Untap this piece. And tap this in. Oh, one more thing that you have to do. Take these front wheels, untap them, and bring them up so they look like this. And you do want to bring his legs back just a little bit so that you can take these front skirts and bring them up. Now for half of the trailer here, you wanna, well, you do want to take these here on both sides and untap them and flip them up. So you can see that painted in silver piece there. Now you want to take these here and untap them and bring them around until they tap in. And if this hasn't done so already, you also want to untap these here and bring them out. And now you're gonna there we go. Now you're also gonna untap this piece here and bring it all the way down so you can see his head there. And you can also see he has like a molded in matrix of leadership there. And you also want to take the bottom piece and fold it up. And you also want to untap these and fold these out. And inside here, you do want to take the combined mode head, which is right there, and untap it from these two pegs into those two holes there. And that will allow you to take these and bring them out. Well, first you want to fold these back in, so that way you can take these and fold these down, which are going to form his arms in robot mode. Then rotate his arms down. And for his arms, you're gonna I'm just checking to see what else you're supposed to do. Well, you do want to take his hands, which are here, and fold them down. And you do want to take these and fold these in. And this hole is where that little peg right there is going to go into. I'm first gonna have to, well, I'm gonna have to figure out what to do with his arms here. I'm gonna be right back in just a minute. Oh, okay. I've finally figured out what you're supposed to do with these pieces on his arms. So what you're supposed to do is you want to untab these from these pegs here, from these holes here. And you do want to take these and shift these down. And you also want to take these and fold these down so they look like this. And that's how you get these transformed. So now that we got the arms done, we're now going to open these back up. And for this piece here, well, first take the combine mode head and flip it up so that it's out of your way. Now you want to take this piece here, untap it, and bring it down. And you do want to take these and flip these out and rotate these down. And you also want to take these and flip these up, so that way these are out of your way also. And then fold down this piece. Oh, and inside here you want to push in this piece, which will push out the stomach piece. And for the combined mode head, you're going to untap it and bring it back, and this piece taps into this hull on top of Motormaster's head into this tab here. And his head, well, the combined mode head here is going to go inside here. So it looks like that. Now, you're going to take one of these here and fold this in, and then fold this in, and this hole is where that tab is going to go into. Well, but before you tab this in, take this gray thing here and fold it up, and then fold this in and tap it in. And then take this piece, bring it up, and it'll tap in, so it looks like that. And now for these missile launchers here. You're gonna I'm just yeah. Oh, okay. So what you're gonna do with these is these are gonna collapse in and look like this. I'm looking at the instructions to see if I got it correct. Yes. I got it correct. You're supposed to put these like this. And you're done. And again, just like in the vehicle mode, the robot mode has that like IDW comic book look, which I do like. And in robot mode, he does have some gold here on his chest, and also the missile launchers here have a little bit of red paint in them. And he also has some red paint on his eyes there, as well as like a lighter purple paint on his face. And oh, and he also has a little bit more silver here, and a little bit more here. And a little bit more gold paint here on the missile launchers here, as well as some black there. And on the sides here, he has a little bit of black paint here. And also a little bit more here, which is the black paint, and purple paint on the front skirts, and also on his thighs here. He does have a little bit more black paint here, as well as some silver on the sides here. And a little bit more black here. And I was checking to make sure that I got these tabbed in. And for our articulation, oh, and he also has a spot here for a Decepticon symbol to go on here. So for articulation, head can swivel and it can move up and down. Arms can rotate all the way around and they can move in and out. And if you want to, you can use that transformation joint. Bicep swivel. Soft ratcheted elbows. Wrist swivel. And for his fingers, for his thumb here, his thumb is on a ball joint, and his fingers have a trigger finger here that only moves, and the rest of his three fingers are one piece. Waist swivel, and the front skirts are on ball joints, so that way his legs can move forward and back on a ratchet, and they can move in and out on a ratchet. He does have a little bit of a thigh swivel, but these things do get in the way, but you can move them out. Well, you can move these out of the way, but it's gonna like limit his thigh swivel, so you might want to leave these folded in. And he does have a ratcheted knee, but you do want to leave these out of the way, so that way you can bend his knees. And his feet, they can move up and down, they also swivel, and they also have an ankle pivot. Yeah, and that's it. And one problem that I have with him in robot mode is sometimes when you're trying to move his legs, these things here on both sides do come untapped. And they also hang down on this joint here. But this joint is meant for the combine mode. So these things here on both sides don't hold in really well. Now, he does have some weapons, and they do store in here, but I left them out. But I will show you how they store inside the trailer when we're ready to transform the other half of the trailer. But the accessories that you get is the gun here, that the handle, well, that you can untap and fold down this handle. Well, not this handle is meant for the combined mode, but the handle that's meant for Motormaster is this here. So this is the handle meant for Motormaster, not the one on the top. And you just tap it in to his hand. And he also comes with the combined mode sword here. And the handle here for the combined mode, these two halves are supposed to tap together, but I'm not gonna tap these together because I'm worried that I might break something. But to have Motormaster here hold it, you would of course untap these and fold these up so they look like this. And this is the handle for Motormaster to hold it. And before I show y'all how to transform the other half of the trailer in the base mode, let's do a size comparison of his other Stunicons. So here's Dead End. Drag strip and breakdown. So you can see how they look together. Now let's get Motormaster out of the way. And now let's transform the other half of the trailer, which is now going to be the base mode. And one more thing that I want to tell you before we get this in base mode is I know I already told y'all that the gun and the sword stores inside here, but the way the gun here stores in is it goes in these two holes into these two. First, let me get this handle up. Into these two pegs here. And I think the way you're supposed to tap this in is I think you're supposed to leave this handle down for the combined mode to tap it in to these two holes here. Or I think you should leave it up. Because when I tapped this in, I left this handle down, which made it much easier. But I think you're supposed to fold it up. And the sword does store inside here, but I'm going to show you that when we got this all transformed. So to get this transformed, you want to take these, fold these up, and then fold these out. Oh, and you also want to untap this little car guy into these two pegs and these two pegs into these two holes and also these two holes here on both sides, and set it off to the side. And then you want to untab these here, which will allow you to separate the top here and once these are separated, you can now slide these out, and these also untab from these holes into these pegs and these two pegs here and the holes here go into these pegs and these holes here. Oops. So now these are separated. We're first going to start off with this piece here. Now, it's either this hole or this hole. I think it's this hole here where the handle for the combined mode goes into for the vehicle mode, but it would store in here and it would look something like this. But to get this transformed, you want to fold these down. Well, I'm looking at the instructions to see if I'm doing it correct. Yeah, yes. So you would fold down these and fold these in. And this hole here is where the handle here would go into, and it would look like this. So now that that's done, we're now going to do these here. So for these, you're going to fold these up and fold in these guns and untap this piece here. And before you shift this down, flip in this piece here and fold in this piece, and then bring this all the way down so it looks like this. And you also want to fold out these handles here. And then you do the same on the other side. And now we got these done. We can now move on to these things here. So for these things, you want to untap these and flip them down to about here. Then you want to rotate these around on this bottom swivel joint here. And then bring these down. Oh, okay. So bring these down and you want to rotate these around. And then rotate these around on the top swivel joint here. And these two pegs are going to go into those two holes there. So it looks like that. Then you do the same on the other side. And that's it. So now for these things, these are going to go into these two holes into these two pegs here. these two are going to go into these two pegs into these two holes here. So they look like that. And that's the base mode. And of course, if this was, well, if the handles were tabbed together, you would attach it here on the top hole here, not the bottom one. And you also have the little car guy there. And I was about to say my final thoughts, but we're not done yet. And the base mode does look really great. But I'm like meh with it. I understand of what they were trying to do here, but for me, it's not really my thing here. So now let's get Motormaster back. So, final thoughts. The vehicle mode does look great, but I just, oh, but before we get into the final thoughts, this guy does turn into the combined mode of Menasor, but we're gonna save that for the final part. Well, the final review of the IDW Stunicons. Now we can get into the final thoughts. So, final thoughts. The vehicle mode does look great, but I just wish that the purple stripes on both sides would like continue on. Because there was like a little part that was not painted in. And the robot mode does look great, but when you're sometimes moving his knees, the two panels on both sides will come untapped and will hang loose because they're not like secured in all the way. And the base mode is meh to me, but I get what they were trying to do here. So I think that's about it. So there you have it. Transform Mission's Powertrain. And if you like this video, give me a like, comment, and subscribe for more. Thanks for watching. Just a quick update video on Transform Mission's Powertrain. There was one more thing that I forgot to show y'all, and that is the little roller car, which is here, that we removed from the trailer. Well, this does become a shield for him, and to transform this into the shield, you want to come to the bottom here, flip down this piece, and you do want to take these wheels and untap them from these two gray pegs into these holes here. But you do want to be very careful of how you're untapping these wheels from these two pegs here, so that way you don't break these pegs here. So once these wheels are untabbed, you now want to fold it in here, and then you want to take these pegs and rotate them sideways so that they look like this. And if you're having troubles trying to flip these back up, if these are too tight on y'all's, then to loosen these up, you would unscrew the screws here just a little bit, so that way these can loosen up and allow you to fold up these pegs. And on here, you want to flip down this handle here, and there's the shield mode. And to have him hold this, you would rotate his hand here And you do want to bring out, well, you do want to flip out the thumb and open up his fingers so that it looks like that. And you also want to take this piece here and shift it up. And okay. And you do want to make sure that this is tapped in all the way. And now you can fit this on him. But you do want to make sure that his elbow is bent up. And then have him grip it. And that's about it. I was looking at the instructions to see if I did it correctly, and I did. So that's how you get the little roller car guy into the shield mode. So that was just a quick update on Powertrain. And now I can go.